The sun set over the dusty highway, painting the sky in fire and gold. Sarah Collins pulled her Harley into a lone gas station on the edge of a desert town. With short-cropped hair, mirrored sunglasses, and quiet confidence, she looked like just another drifter. But Sarah was far from ordinary. A retired Special Forces operative, fluent in martial arts and survival tactics most couldn't name. As she refueled, the rumble of a dozen motorcycles grew louder. A rowdy gang of leather-clad bikers rolled in. Their leader, a hulking man with a thick beard and a chain at his belt, swaggered over. "Hey, sweetheart," he mocked. "Road's dangerous for a lady alone." Sarah didn't flinch. She capped the tank and met his gaze. "I'm not the one in danger." They laughed. 3 bikers dismounted and circled her, taunting. One reached for her shoulder. Big mistake. In a blur, she twisted his wrist and dropped him with a knee strike. Another lunged. She sidestepped, hit his throat, and kicked him into a parked bike. The rest froze. In under 10 seconds, she'd taken down 2 men with ruthless efficiency. The leader reached for his chain. Sarah moved first, dodging, slamming her elbow into his ribs, then sweeping his legs. He hit the ground hard. She crouched beside him. "Here's some advice," she said coldly. "Don't assume someone's weak just because she's alone." She dusted off, mounted her Harley, and rode into the desert. She wasn't looking for trouble, but she was always ready. Miles later, she saw headlights in her mirror. Too many to be coincidence. The road was empty but for her. And them. They were after her. She didn't speed up. Instead, she turned off onto a narrow trail through the hills. Terrain she knew from her military days. Dangerous for anyone else. They followed. Another mistake. She weaved through rocks and brush with ease. 2 riders peeled off, nearly crashing. The rest kept coming. Ahead lay an old ranger station. Stone walls, a collapsed tower. Plenty of cover. Sarah hid her bike behind a wall and waited. The bikers roared past. Then she stepped out. "You boys lost?" she called. They skidded to a stop. Their leader, bloody, snarled. "Nobody embarrasses Devil's Fong and walks away." Sarah cracked her neck. Funny. I was about to say the same thing. They charged, but she wasn't defending now. She was hunting. She dropped one with a knee to the solar plexus, used his weapon to knock out another, then ducked a furred swing and broke his nose with his own knife. The leader came last, swinging a crowbar. She caught his arm mid-swing, twisted it until he dropped the weapon, then slammed him into a wall, knee at his throat. "You done?" she asked. He nodded. She leaned in, voice like steel. "Next time, pick a target who isn't trained to take down warlords." She let him fall, got back on her Harley, and rode off. No one would bother her again. She didn't need help. She was the help. The next morning, Sarah stopped at a small diner outside a border town. She drank her coffee, back to the wall, a habit she never broke. A TV played the news, violent biker brawl in desert. Local gang hospitalized. No names, no footage. Just a blurry image of a figure in black walking to a bike. Sarah didn't react, but she took note. Questions would come. A man in a tan uniform walked in, sheriff's badge gleaming, sunglasses on. He scanned the room, then approached. "Morning, ma'am. You passed through Route 12 last night?" Sarah sipped her coffee. "Maybe. We had trouble out there. Witness says a woman took down a biker crew. Ring any bells?" She set her cup down. "Heard some guys got beat up. Sounds like they deserved it." The sheriff stand. "Funny thing is, they're not pressing charges. Said it was some ghost in black. Military. Maybe they picked the wrong fight." He nodded. then slid a card across the table. FBI Task Force, Special Agent Monroe, you're not in trouble. But someone saw that footage. Someone not local. You're not invisible anymore, Sarah Collins. Her eyes narrowed. Who are you working with? I'm just the messenger. But Monroe's not here to arrest you. He wants to recruit you. Sarah stared at the card. Outside, the wind howled. She had left that life, but it hadn't left her. Later, Sarah parked her Harley outside a plain government building in Tucson. Inside, she was buzzed in and escorted to a conference room. Waiting was Special Agent Monroe. Late 40s, clean cut, the kind of man who smiled only when threatening. He slid a file across the table. Inside, photos of a desert compound. Fences, guards, drones. Monroe leaned back because Novik's connected to someone from your past. A man named Marov, Sarah interrupted. Her jaw clenched. She hadn't heard that name in years. Marov was her team's final mission. A war criminal she buried in a collapsing bunker. Or so she thought. If Novik's linked to him, Monroe said, we need intel, and if needed, neutralization. No backup, no extraction. This is a ghost mission. You said you were done, he added. But this isn't about revenge. It's global. We're out of options. Sarah studied the photos. Old instincts stirred. Threats, escape routes, timing. How long do I have? 72 hours. You go alone. If you're caught, we never spoke. She stood. I was never here. Monroe gave a grim smile. Welcome back, soldier.